Good morning, dear children. Let us move forward with the next question, that is question number 14 of 5.3. Till question number 13 we have done in our previous classes. Now let's see how we can find the sum of the odd numbers between 0 and 50. Now see here children, we have to find the odd numbers between 0 and 50. That means let's see after 0 which one is our odd number. So after 0 our first odd number is 1. Okay. Next odd number is 3. Next odd number is 5. Then 7. And this way it will go up to 49, because just before 50 it is 49. And so between 0 and 50 the odd numbers we are having are 1, 3, 5, 7 up to 49. So these are the list of numbers of which we need the sum. So if you see properly, you'll come to know that these numbers are in AP. These numbers are in AP. And if you recognize A and D and N, it will be very easy for you to find the sum total of all these numbers. We have two formulas for Sn, sum total of numbers. That is, Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, or Sn is equal to n by 2 into a plus l. Here children, we know our a and we know our l. So let's use Sn is equal to n by 2 into a plus l. But we don't know n. We have to find out the value of n. As you know the nth term, which is 49, you can easily calculate n. So see here, last term L is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. And what is your L? It is 49, which is equal to 1 plus, because your a is 1 plus n minus 1 into, what is your d? D is 3 minus 1, 2. So D is equal to 2. So 49 will be equal to 1 plus now 2n minus 2. So 49 will be equal to 2n minus 1. So if you bring your 1 this side, it will be 50 equal to 2n. So this says that n is equal to how much? 25. So simply you have to find sum of 25 terms, which will be equal to 25 by 2 into, what is your a? A is 1. And what is your L? L is 49. So as 25 will be equal to 25 by 2 into 50. If you cancel 2 and 50, you will get 2 ones are and 2 25s are. So 25 25s are 625. So children, sum total of all the odd numbers between 0 and 50 is equal to 625. Construction job. Children, see properly. A contract on construction job specifies a penalty for delay of completion beyond a certain date as follows. That means when a contract was given, it was said that it should be completed by a given time. But if it is not completed by that particular date, certain date, then there will be penalty on the contractor. So how it is specified? Rupees 200 for the first date. Suppose it should be completed by today and he is not able to do it by today, and if he will be completing it by tomorrow, that is the first day, for 1 day delay he has to give 200. Rupees 250 for the second day. Again, if for the second day also is not doing, 50 rupees added. Now rupees 300 for the third day. Again see, for the third day, again 50 rupees added, etc. The penalty of each succeeding day increases by rupees 250 more than the preceding day. That means for every new day, for every next day of delay, he will have to add 50 rupees to the preceding day. So how much money the contractor has to pay as penalty if he delays the work by 30 days. Now see, suppose the contractor is not able to complete his work for 30 more days. For 30 more days. That means from the date he has been specified to give, he is not able to complete his work for the specified date and it takes 1 month more, then what penalty the contractor has to pay. Now let us see that. Okay, now let's see that. So on the first day, let's see on the first day what is the penalty. For the first day the penalty is rupees 200. For the second day, the penalty is rupees 250. For the third day, the penalty is rupees 300. Now, so on and so forth, it will be for 30. Means number of terms will be 30. See, this is coming into an AP where your first term A is 200. Second term A plus D is 250. Now, that means your first term is 200 and D is rupees 50, common difference, and the last term L is equal to how much? You have to find out, and number of terms N is given to be as how much? N will be equal to 30. Now what you have to find here, how much money the contractor has to pay as penalty if he delays the work for by 30 days. Now see, for the first day he has to give 200, second day 250, third day 300, fourth day 350, fifth day 400. Like this, if he goes for 30th day, what will be the amount he has to pay on the 30th day? That means you have to find out the last term when n is equal to 30, so that you can tell how much amount the contractor has to pay if he delays the work by 30. Now the last term L or Tn, nth term will be A plus n minus 1 into D. So what is your n? N is equal to 30. What is your A? A is equal to 200. So this implies your last term or Tn will be equal to 200 plus n minus 1, 30 minus 1 is 29, and your D is equal to 50. Okay, now simply you do the calculation properly and you'll get the answer. Now see, this will be equal to 200 plus 29 into 50. Put your 0 first. 9 5s are 45, 4 5 2s are 10 and 4 14. So 200 plus 1450. Okay, so you will be getting 1650. So the contractor has to pay rupees 1650 on the 30th day. Now children, now you have to see on the 30th day he will be paying rupees 1650. But for the delay of work of 30 days, for the first day he is paying 200, for the second day he is paying 250, and on the last day he is paying 1650. So what will be the sum total of all the amount he has to pay? It will be equal to Sn equal to n by 2 into A plus L. So here it will be n is equal to how much? N will be equal to 30. So 30 by 2, and the first day he was paying 200 and on the last day he was paying 1650. So 200 plus 1650. Now see, it will be 15 into 1850. So if you calculate, you will come to know that 15 zeros are 0, 15 fives are 75, so 7, 15 eights are 120, so 120 and 7 is 127, so 12 left, 15 ones are 15 and 12, so that will be 27. So all in all, he has to pay rupees 27,750 for the delay of how many days? 30 days. So the amount to be paid is 27,750. Okay. Let us see question number 16. A sum of rupees 700 is to be used to give 7 cash prizes to students of a school. So total amount is rupees 700 and we need to give 7 cash prizes. So for what these prizes are being given? For their overall academic performance. Very good. If each prize is rupees 20, less than its preceding price. See, think properly. Less than its preceding price. Suppose if the first price is A, then the second price will be A minus 20. Third price will be A minus 20 minus 20. So you have to find the value of each of the prices. Now see, you know the total amount. Total amount is rupees 700. Number of prizes are 7 and each prize is decreasing by 20. Suppose the first prize is A, second prize will be A minus 20, third prize will be A minus 40 like this. So let us see how we can solve this particular question. Now let us see children, since we are getting a list of numbers, list of 7 numbers like A minus 20, A minus 40, so next will be A minus 60, then A minus 80, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then A minus 100 and then A minus 120. These are the prizes. We have 7 prizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now each price is decreasing by rupees 20. Okay, the first price was A. So second price A minus 20, third price A minus 40 like this. Now the sum total of all these is rupees is 700. Okay, 700. So that means you know S7 is equal to 700. How will you find out S7? S7 is nothing but n by 2 into A plus L or n by 2 into 2A plus n minus 1 into D. Since we know first term and the seventh term, you can easily do it by the formula n by 2 into A plus L. Now children, let us see. This can be written as n by 2. N by 2 means 7 by 2 and into A plus L. A first term plus L is A minus 120. Now look here how you can do 7 by 2. Okay. Inside you will be getting 2A minus 120. So this can be written as 7 by 2. If you take out 2 common, you will be left with A minus 60 inside. Now you can cancel 2 and 2. So you will be left with 7 into A minus 60. That will be 7A minus 6 7 is 42, 420. But this total 7A minus 420 is equal to how much? This is equal to 700. You can see this is equal to 700. So let us say that 7A minus 420 is equal to 700. So 7A will be equal to 700 plus 420. So that will become 1120. So this says that A is equal to 1120 divided by 7. Can you do the further calculation? Simply you cancel it with the table of 7. So what will you get? 7 ones are 7. How much is left? 42. 7 6 are 42. 0. So your first prize A is equal to how much? A is equal to 120. Okay. So the next prize will be equal to how much? 120. So see, first prize 120. Second prize 120 minus 20. 100. So sorry. First prize is 160. Second prize is 160 minus 20. So that will be 140. Third prize 120. Fourth prize 100. Fifth prize 80. Sixth prize 60. And seventh prize is 40. So this way the amount will be distributed among the Venus. Spiral is made. How is the spiral made? See, let us see. A spiral is made up of successive semicircles. You can see, children, I have shown the semicircles in different colors. See, one semicircle in green, one in pink, and then light green, and then light pink. Like this, I have shown you the semicircles. Okay, with centers alternatively at A and B. If you can see nicely, you'll see that, see, A is one center and B is one center. With A, you have semicircles on the top of this particular line. Top of this line. And with B as center, you have semicircles below the line. Like this, the semicircles are moving. Starting with center A of radii 0.5 centimeter, 1.0 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter, 2.0 centimeter. Now, what are the radii? See, for the first semicircle, the radii is 0.5. Okay, and for the second, that is for the second one, we have center B, so it is 1.0. Then for the third, again A is the center, so you have radii 1.5 centimeter. Then again, when you go for B, you will see that the radii is 2 centimeter. You can see this one, bigger one. So like this, it is passing, it is moving as shown in the figure. Now this is shown in the figure. What is the total length of such a spiral made up of 13 consecutive semicircles? Now see, if you are taking one wire and bending the wire in this way, so what will be the length of that particular wire, total wire, if you are making 13 consecutive semicircles like this. Now that means you have to find the length of each semicircle and then you have to add all the lengths. Let us see what we shall get if we start finding out the lengths of the semicircle. Now suppose we are trying to find the length of this particular semicircle, this particular semicircle. What will be its length? Now see, children, how you will calculate semicircle length with the length of the first semicircle. So how do you find the semicircle? 2 pi r by 2. So here 2 will be cancelled and it will be pi r. Now what is your r here? Your r is 0.5. So pi into 0.5. So 0.5 pi. This is the length of your first semicircle. Now what will be the length of the second semicircle? What is your second semicircle? If you see properly, you will come to know your second semicircle is this one. Continuous. See, first, then second. Okay. So for this semicircle, your L2 will be again pi r, and this time your r is 1 centimeter. So pi into 1, that is pi centimeter. Okay. What is your L3? Now L3 will be equal to how much? You will see it will be again pi r. So let us take this as r1, r2, r3. Now here your r is how much? Your r is, for this, your r will be equal to 1.5. So 1.5. So 1.5 pi. So L4 will be equal to naturally 2 pi. Now like this, you are getting the lengths of the semicircles. So let us see how it becomes. Now see, 0.5 pi, 1.5 pi, 2 pi, and this way it is moving forward up to 13th. So now here you can see that it is forming an AP. This AP, you have A equal to how much? A is equal to 0.5 pi. And what is your D? D will be equal to pi minus 0.5 pi. So, see children, you have to keep this in mind. 1 pi minus 0.5 pi. Second term minus first term. So this will give you 0.5 pi. Okay, so you know A, you know D. Now what you have to calculate? You have to calculate sum of 13 terms, because you have to find how many what is the total length of 13 such uh, half circles. So to get that to get that total length, you have to find 13, the sum of 13 terms. So that will be, as 13 will be 13 by 2 into 2a. A is 0.5 pi plus n minus 1. 13 minus 1 is 12 into d is your 0.5 pi. Now see what you'll get. 13 by 2. Now see, 2 into 0.5 is 1 pi plus 12 into 0.5 is 6.0. So 6 pi. Okay. Now see, this will be 13 by 2 into pi plus 6 pi will give you 7 pi. So 13 by 2 into 7, and put the value of pi, 22 by 7. So if you cancel 7 and 7, you will be left with, now see, you can cancel 2 and this. So 2 11s are 22. So what you are left with, 13 into 11. 13 into 11. So see, 11 3 are 33, 3 11 1s are 11 and 3 143. It will come in centimeter, because we are finding the length and the radii is given in centimeters. So the length of the spiral will be equal to 143 centimeters. 19. See, 200 logs are stacked. Stacked means brought together, and in the following manner: 20 logs in the bottom row, 19 in the next row, 18 in the row next to it, and so on. You can see the figure. This is the figure. Okay. In how many rows are 200 logs placed, and how many logs are in the top row? Now see, children, what is given. See, the number of logs are equal to 200. So total 200 logs are there. All these logs are equal to 200. And how they are kept? This is the first row. In the first row there are 20. In the second row there are 19. In the third row there are 18. And you will see that it will go on decreasing one log for every next row. And then we have to find out how many total rows can be formed out of 200 logs. That means total logs, sum of the logs, that means sum of the logs is equal to 200. 200. Now how the rows are formed? In row 1 you have 20 logs, row 2 19 logs, row 3, how many logs are there in row 3? Row 3 18 logs, okay, row 4 17 logs, and this way the rows are moving up. Okay, now see how you can find the total number of rows. Now this is forming an AP, if you see properly, where your A is equal to 20 and D is equal to 19 minus 20, that is equal to minus 1, and your SN is equal to 200. How do you find SN? SN will be equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, in the case you don't know the last term. Now see, just put the values. What is your SN? It is equal to 200. Now you don't know the value of n, so n by 2. Now 2a, so a is equal to 20 plus you don't know the value of n, so n minus 1 into d is equal to minus 1. Now simply do the simplification work. So 200, you just send this to this side, so this will become 400, which will be equal to n into 40 plus, now n into minus 1 will be minus n, and minus 1 into minus 1 will be equal to plus 1. Okay, so this is how you will come to the next part. Now let's simplify. So what you will get, 400 will be equal to n into 40 plus 1 is 41, so 41 minus n. isn't it? 41 minus n. So what you will do? You'll just make 400 will be equal to 41n minus n square. So I think this is coming into the form of a quadratic equation. So what will be the quadratic equation? If you take these things outside, you will get 400 minus 41n plus n square equal to 0. If you arrange it, you will get n square minus 41n plus 400 equal to 0. Now you have to do the factorization of 400 in such a way that you will get 41. So see, 400 can be written as 20 into 20, and then 20 can be written as 4 into 5. Okay, this can be written as 4 into 5. Now see if we can manage this. 4 fours are 16 and 5 fives are 25. So 16 and 25, see, 41. So you need minus 41. So minus 16 minus 25 will be the factors. So n square minus 16 and minus 25 and plus 400 will give you 0. So in these two you will get n common. So n minus 16, and here you will have to take minus also common because one plus is made up of two minuses, and then 400 is a factor of 25, so minus 25 will come as common, and you will be left with n here, and then out of the plus, one minus is taken outside, so one minus remaining, and 400 is nothing but 16 into 25. So you'll get 16 here equal to 0. So this will become n minus 16 into n minus 25 equal to 0. N minus 16 into n minus 25 equal to 0. So what is the value of n now? Suppose n minus 16 is 0. If n minus 16 is equal to 0, then n will be equal to how much? N will be equal to 16. Okay. Now then what will be your last term? How many terms are there? So Tn will be equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. What is your a? A is 20, plus if you are taking n equal to 16, then n minus 1 will be 15, and your d is equal to minus 1. So you will get 20, then plus 15 into minus 1 is minus 15. So 20 minus 15, which will be equal to 5. Your last term, okay, Tn, last term will be equal to 5, and number of terms will be equal to 16. Now if you are taking n minus 25 equal to 0, okay, here if n minus 25 will be equal to 0, then what will happen? N will be equal to 25. Now in this case, what will be your last term, nth term? It will be equal to 20 plus, now 25 minus 1 is 24 into minus 1. Okay, so this will become 20 minus 24, that will be equal to minus 4. Okay, now clearly the number of logs in the 16th row is 5, because see, simply you can see from here that number of logs, what are logs? Logs are something which can be seen, and you can count it. So when you are counting, that will come in positive only. It will not come in negative. You cannot count minus 1 log, minus 2 logs. When you are seeing the logs 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the way you will be counting the logs. So here you will say that this particular part where n is equal to 25 doesn't fit for our question. So finally, what will be your answer? N equal to 16 is the right answer, and the nth term will be equal to 5. Last question, question number 20. Now in a potato race, a bucket is placed at the starting point. See here in the figure, you can see a bucket is placed in the starting point. It is in the beginning point. which is 5 meters from the first potato. From the first potato. Suppose the first potato is kept here. The bucket is at 5 meters from the first potato. And the other potatoes are placed 3 meters apart in a straight line. Now in the straight line, after 3 meters, one more potato is kept. Then again after 3 meters, one more potato is kept. Again after 3 meters, one more potato is kept. Again after 3 meters, one more potato is kept. Like this, the potatoes are kept on a straight line 3 meters apart from one another. A competitor starts from the bucket. From here, the competitor has to start to pick up the potato. So starts on the picks up the nearest potato, runs back with it, drops it in the bucket. Now the runner comes, picks up the potato and then runs back to drop it in the bucket. Now see, now again he runs to the bucket to drop it in, and she continues in the same way. Then again she comes to the second potato, picks it up and then puts it in the bucket. Now this way she is putting all the potatoes in the bucket. Now what you have to find is what is the total distance the competitor has to run. What is the distance the competitor has to run? Now here we have to see what distance is the competitor actually describing to put every potato. Now let's see the first potato. For the first potato it comes 5 meters and then goes back for 5 meters. That means for the first potato the competitor takes 10 meters distance. Okay, for the second potato 5 plus 3 8 meters he comes to pick up and again 8 meters to drop. So 16 meters. For the third potato, 5 plus 3 plus 3. Okay. So how much is the distance? 8 plus 3, 11. 11 meters to pick up the potato and then 11 meters to drop. That means 22 meters he has to describe. Again, for the next potato, 11 plus 3, 14 meters to pick and 14 meters to drop. That means 28 meters. Now children, you can see that how this distance is moving. See, 10, then 16, then 22, then 28. That means the competitor has to travel 6 meters more every time when he is picking up the next potato and putting it down. So after this 28, you will get 34 meters for the next potato. Like this, the competitor is moving. Now you have to find out what is the total distance the competitor has run. If you observe properly, you'll see that this is forming an AP. See, 10, then 16, then 22, where your A is equal to 10 meters and your D is equal to 16 minus 10, that is 6 meters. Okay, now how you will find out the sum of total terms. Now you have to find the sum of total terms. Since there are 10 potatoes, you have 10 terms. Since you have 10 potatoes, you have 10 terms. So n will be equal to 10. Now how will you find S10? S10 will be equal to 10 by 2 into 2a. 2a means 2 into 10 plus n minus 1. N minus 1 means 10 minus 1. Since you see here, children, don't confuse. N is also 10 and a is also 10. So n equal to 10. 10 minus 1 is 9 and d is 6. Now see here, n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So what you are going to get? You see, 2 ones are 2 and 2 5s are 10. So here 5. Then in the bracket 2 10s are 20 plus 9 6 are 54. So this will become 5 into 54 plus 20 will give you 74. So 4 5s are 22, 7 5s are 35 and 2 37, and it will come in meters because we are calculating the distance which is given in meters. So children, the final answer here is 370 meters. What is the total distance covered by the competitor? Distance covered by the competitor is 370 meters. Okay.